So let's do a quick recap on the BTC weekly chart. As you can see, BTC is doing a very strong inverse head and shoulders formation. And then from this, we can project the expected value of the next move, which works out to be around 20,400. And we are still maybe halfway there from this breakout. BTC next target is $20,400. And there's only about 20 to 30% upside from now. But I'm not saying that beyond the 20,000 BTC cannot move further. But what I'm saying is based on the current chart, we can project BTC to reach 20,000. This will mean around 20 to 30% upside from the current value. And that is not too exciting. Which is why I suggested in my previous video that I'll consider moving to alts. And let's look at the daily chart for BTC. As you can see, there isn't a lot of information that we can gather over here, which is why I move on to hourly chart. As you can see from the breakout of the $12,000 point, BTC has moved out rather nicely from 12,000 to 15,500, and there isn't a very clear pattern that is making the next move, even though we all think that it is pretty likely to hit 20,000 in the long term. But in the short term, the movement isn't clear. So let's look at the hourly chart. For cryptocurrency, I'm more comfortable looking at hourly chart than for normal stock market, because this thing is traded 24 hours, whereas for the conventional stock market is traded only about 8 hours per day. Therefore, for cryptocurrency, given the volatile nature, I think it's rather reasonable to look at the hourly chart to get more information. Looking at the hourly chart, you can see that we have this nice move from 13,500 up to around 16,000, and then it subsequently got smashed to 14,000, around 14,200, and then it has recovered, pretty strongly. As of now, I don't see a clear pattern, and I think BTC could just range bound for some time. That's why it's a good time to look at the alts, which is what I did. As you can see, my last purchase for BAN is around 29.3k sats, and this has been a rather good trade for me. In fact, I've taken out most of my money from cryptocurrency, because as I mentioned that I foresee BTC being range bound for a moment, and the potential upside to 20,000 is not very attractive. But that doesn't mean that I don't see BTC going up further beyond 20,000 to 100,000. As you can see, I have less than $3,000 in the cryptocurrency right now. And prior to me switching over to BAN, I was all in BTC. After I've removed my funds from cryptocurrency, I have slightly less than 2,000 worth of BTC. After moving to BAN, I've made around more than 30% gain, which is rather good within 1 or 2, I think it's rather 3 days. So let's see, should we stick with alts, or we should move the funds back to BTC? I have friends asking me, why do I go into BAN, not Chainlink or some other cryptocurrencies? One reason is because I've made about 4 or 5 times my returns trading BAN the previous time, so there's a familiarity with the chart. And second thing is, compared to Chainlink, I think BAN has more leverage. And thirdly, sometimes it's also because of the chart. And if I look at it and I have more confidence in it, I will trade it. But it doesn't mean that it's the best. It doesn't mean that it's the chart that I think it gives me the best return. But more like, given the risk-reward trade-off, I think that BAN gives me the best reward with the lowest risk. So as you can see, BAN is not traded for a long time. So if I'm going to use a daily chart, I don't see a lot of information from this chart. It's worse if I use the weekly chart. So that's why for BAN I use the hourly chart. As mentioned earlier, for cryptocurrencies, I'm rather comfortable using hourly chart because it's globally traded and it's open 24 hours, open for business 24 hours a day. So if you cannot sleep, then just turn on TradingView or turn on Coinbase, turn on Binance and have fun looking at the prices. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night looking at prices, and I'm pretty sure many crypto fans do the same thing. As you can see for BAN, it did a double top here, and then from there we can easily calculate the expected target or the expected drop, which is over here. And this is a BAN BTC chart. So it is around 28k sets. Looking further, you can see that BAN moves along this channel formation, and then it break out again, and then using here we try to measure the expected price, and it's also around 28k sets, 27k, 28k sets. However, to note, these price targets only gives you an expected price that BAN BTC will reach, but it doesn't tell you that the price will reverse, or it doesn't tell you that the price will not go down further. So it just tells you a target, and based on this, it's actually not safe to trade for reversal or to buy the dip, so-called, because it can really go down further. And that was why I was hesitant going in when it reaches 27k sets. But things changed. If you zoom in further, you can see this breakout here, which is around 27k, and then I saw this long bar up, and then I just FOMO'd in, which is why I didn't buy over at here, which could give me a better profit at 27 or even here 25k sets, even though I was watching it. But then I bought it here, so I was like almost 20% higher from the base, from the low point. And then after I bought, it actually went down further, as you can see from this candle. But I held on to it because of this breakout, because of this trend line. And this highlights the importance of technical analysis, because as you can see with this trend line, this point is a breakout. So then my confidence level of this being a reversal is higher. And let me zoom in over here. Looking at this chart, I bought around here, and then it dropped below my buy point, and had I chickened out fearing for more drop, then I would have made a loss, and I would have missed out on these huge gains. And then the next question will be, do I move back to BTC or do I just keep holding? I'm not exactly sure about this formation, but this does look like a consolidation and a breakout. So for now, let me guess BTC BAN. So for now, I may wait for 50k sets, but I'll have to monitor this closely, and I may change my mind anytime, because this is not really clear at this point of time.